Hey there, BookTube. Noah, everyone who reads and must converse is the channel. Thanks for coming back by. Happy Friday. Nice to see everybody. What a freaking week, I tell you. And I'm looking at everything just shaping up for the live here. And it's just, I've been in a weird spot with my reading. I do not recommend going at the titles that I've been reading this last week together and just kicking around all of the ideas at the same time. We're going to have a really good time tonight hanging out. So I'm looking to get to some really mind-blowing titles. So in an effort, I'm just going to keep it kind of chronological, how I read them this week, and then get into my thoughts as we touch on them. I have picked up some really cool books this week as well. Hey, Book Nick, happy Friday. Nice to see you. And it was because of Father's Day, right? So we had Father's Day, and my mother had gifted me a gift card because she's just like that. Her sons who are fathers now, she just, any excuse to lavish some love through something, any kind of means. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you, Mom. So she gave me the infamous Amazon gift card. So I got on and promptly ordered some stuff just to get it out of the way and get them sent my way, right? I don't use Amazon for anything except Audible. I use hey, hello there, Obi-Wan. Yeah, nice. Hey, Tyler. Happy Friday, brother. So I thought, as I was searching through Amazon, that I would, I was searching different things, and I came across Alan Moore. I just started searching Alan Moore and found two or three different titles. So I have a little stack there. If you've seen my short, you got a little heads up as to what's coming in the live here. But something that I didn't give a heads up to, because sometimes I just don't. I just will grab stuff. I might have said before I'm going to read Near to the Wild Heart because this was a challenge that came up between Una over at the Codex Cantina and I. We love Clarice Lispector. And he challenged me to read Near to the Wild Heart, which he has read already and I hadn't read. And I challenged him to read The Passion According to GH. I had read it and he has not read it. So we kind of exchanged challenges there. I'm happy to say that I'm the first one to finish my half of the challenge there. But this was an amazing read. Another amazing read from Clarice Lispector is what it comes down to. I love what she does. This is Clarice Lispector's first novel. Very cool. Just bought the complete stories, a good hardcover copy too. Very cool, Connor. Happy Friday as well. Thanks for coming by. And Clarice Lispector is really good. I've read Agua Viva, The Passion According to GH, The Hour of the Star, and various short stories from the collections. I have a few more on my shelf to be read. The Besieged City. I really want to get to that one. But this one was first. Near to the Wild Heart was her first novel. Hey, Match and Hatchet Studios, happy Friday. Thanks for coming by. So, coming into contact with what Clarice Lispector does, talking in a way very philosophical, her novels, she will define terms and then use those terms to build an abstract idea, a philosophical argument. And it's beautiful what she does. But in her first novel here, I found her. language and how she uh is constructing her exploration, because that's essentially what it is an exploration. Most of her works are. She's constructing it in more plain language than in her later works. It seems I can tell that it might not be as mature of an effort, right? Hey baby, happy Friday. Emily Clem is in the house. Nice to see ya. And she is picking up one of my daughters from work, so I hope she's on her way back. Happy Friday, that's for sure. Happy Friday, Nick. Nice to see you, brother. And thanks for supporting always. Thank you, Nick, for the copy of Near to the Wild Heart, by the way. Um, this was a challenge, like I said, that was thrown out there. So I'm really happy with it. I got real portrait of an artist as a young man vibes off of this book. James Joyce is an amazing writer. So is it semi autobiographical? Uh, I'm gonna list the similarities. They're semi autobiographical, and the story of an artist finding themselves. So kind of a coming of age story, right? But the coming of age of an artist. So the last part, the last chapter, it consists of an epiphany in both works. Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man's epiphany is centered around aesthetics and creativity and what that means. Near to the Wild Heart, Clarice Lispector's epiphany is centered around how to be, or how to be an artist itself. And it was amazing. It is far more grandiose than the epiphany and the heights that Clarice Lispector gets to in this very slim work, because it comes from a place of depth beyond what I think most people even will understand or even have any context for. Clarice Lispector was an amazingly deep person, and it's apparent in her first novel that she's operating on a level that most can only touch at best, right? Yeah, yeah. Hey Alexa, happy Friday. Awesome. Yes. Hey, Money, Body, Mind, and Novels. I love her writing as well, for sure. There's a lot of beautiful stuff in here. Uh, the ways that it's influenced my thinking over the last week has been, like I said, it's a coming of age story. So we're following a young girl that might be 12 or 13 at the beginning of the novel, or a young, maybe even younger for a chapter or two. But we're following her life and just through her kind of coming of age and becoming a woman. And so this girl is uh, searching for, or she's prompted by her teacher, which is an internal teacher, kind of like a holy guardian angel in occult practices. And I got real vibes that Clarice Lispector is interested and exploring a systematic path through the subconscious, unconscious, and making those things more conscious. And so she was prompted by her teacher, an internal teacher, in this, as to uh what do you want? What is the motivation? Right? And she said living. And the response was, as opposed to death, dying. And she says no. So the she in this, I say she, and it sounds like I'm talking about Clarice Lispector, but there is actually a character put up in between, but it is obviously at least semi autobiographical, just like in all of her works, right? Especially things like The Passion According to GH and Agua Viva. Very cool. Very cool. Ah, thank you, Nick. You are too cool, brother. Lispector should be read by everyone, that's for sure. So, hey, Caleb, thank you for speaking up and happy Friday. Thanks for coming by for sure. Hey, Quentin, I wanted to say happy Friday to you for sure, brother, because I'm kicking around doing some discussion content on Richard Brautigan, and I know your passion for Brautigan. What an amazing video! Idjit Reads and Rambles is the channel. Put out on the Hawkline monster. It's a very cool short story, or yeah, it's a shorter story, maybe a novella that I read just a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Uh, Idjit Reads and Rambles put out a cool video on that. But I wanted to get you, Quentin, to on Instagram or somewhere where we can talk and put together creating some content just discussing Brautigan. I have Chris Robinson, who is a big hole HW, I think, on Instagram, and we're gonna do that. And if you want to join in, I'd love to have you. So find me. Hey Jack, I hope you had a nice week too. Your your vlog videos of your traveling is fantastic. What an amazing tool we have at our hands to take video content like that and be able to share them. Thank you so much, Jack, for sharing your videos. Horror House Studios 333. Happy Friday. Hey there, and how am I doing? I'm doing great. Thank you for coming by. First time I've seen you on the channel. Thanks for supporting and all that kind of stuff, right? Bring it on, Quentin. Find me on Instagram or somewhere we can direct message and we'll put together some content for sure. Uh Lispector and Borges back to back is divine. So the kind of level she gets to quickly in this kind of progression she goes through is seeing that she's not about life over death, like avoiding death. It is experiencing life, more and more life all the time. So the young artist wants to experience life and more life all the time, therefore is willing to make uh risky decisions, willing to uh make decisions to have an experience, right? And that leads our main character to explore what is the root that is causing decisions to be made. And of course, that's desire. That's the desire and want of the individual, right? So that holds an utmost prominence in the decision making is what do I want, right? But you have to do that kind of thing without ego. So there already is an element of growth and progression in order to actually enter into the construct that is put forth in this. And it's very, very smart. It's very high-minded, very philosophical, and I really enjoyed it. It goes to a level where like I kind of thought that this was, you could say, Near to the Wild Heart or How to Become a Goddess by Clarice Lispector. Because in this, she elevates an understanding of life in an individual's being in through art to communicate with others. Self and other dichotomy being transcended through art. Even in her first work, it's a beautiful experience. It's unbelievable. So I may do some dedicated content on it maybe that might be just it. I don't know. It was something that really pushed my thinking, and Clarice Lispector always does that. It's amazing stuff. She's an amazing writer. So I've kept on with the Book of the New Sun, Gene Wolfe, uh, this week, of course, and I finished the third book. That is Sword of the Lictor, and on to the fourth book. I'm not starting it. Maybe this next week I won't read it. I'm gonna give it a week because there's a lot in the group that aren't finished with the third book yet. Maybe they're just starting the third book. Maybe they are uh, in the midst of the third book. So I'm gonna hold off so that we can read the last book together, everybody. The third book is amazing. It is hokey. Okay, there's something about Book of the New Sun where I can see how it's not for everybody. I don't know. There's a part of me that does not like some of the stuff that's going on because it's so coincidental, and I'm not somebody who believes in coincidence. When it comes down to it, there's a reason or a meaning or some kind of value infused in any kind of happening. You can gain some kind of information out of it or whatever, right? So in that kind of way, I see that there is a coincidental things happening, so much so because coincidence is fine. Coincidence happens in life, right? But there's so much coincidence on a level of being due a machina, and it's just an unbelievable amount of the author just tying everything up in a little bow from almost each couple of chapters along. And I'm like, what is happening right now? This is what is happening right now. Is this something that um is it a narrative device? This is written in such a way that I could think that the elements of this that I'm not really digging might be actually used as a narrative device in the in the story. What's up, PG? I ain't finna read that. I'm about to holler you out later in the show tonight because talking about upcoming reads, and I can't wait to get to what we're getting to for sure. Hey, Michael, happy Friday. Oh, 2 Fridays in a row. Nice to see you for sure. Thank you for supporting the channel, y'all. So this has ideas for days. The third book, Sword of the Lictor, is something like the best of sci-fi idea writing. I loved it. But did the story progress? That's what it comes down to. Is I feel like the story of Severian, our main character, and him getting to where he's getting to uh with the big overall story of the four books, that not a lot is really happening. We're getting information, and it's all disparaging, all different, and even antagonistic to each other. It's ridiculous. So I don't even know. I've checked out Media Death Cult. Let me tell you. Um, I've checked out Media Death Cult and seen his stuff on what I've read. I just watched his Sword of the Lictor video when I finished this last book. So thank you very much, and for sure, I'm always here for the community. The character development is ridiculous. It's like wait, this guy is the luckiest guy on the planet. Severian is the luckiest guy on the planet in more ways than one. Okay. Yeah. Unreliable narrator is putting it lightly. He's grinding into you how he never forgets anything. And he gets lost. How do you get lost if you have perfect recall? That kind of stuff. Yeah, it's almost like Severian is a completely insane person. Um, we've met a number of insane, completely off the hinges characters in Book of the New Sun so far. Baldanders and um the Autarch, both of them, the one the ancient Autarch and the Autarch of now, they're completely insane. And everybody in the world has an element of complete insanity in some ways because there's just too much of everything just piled on top of each other, it seems. Just too much culture, too much history, too much humanity, all piled on top of each other. It's really hard to take. Um, but at the end of Sword of the Lictor, it gets really, really crazy. And it it shows some really strong sci-fi elements to the story, even if they're just loosely tied in. Okay, that's the thing. A lot of things are loosely tied in. What's going on, Frostbite? Happy Friday. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by, and and definitely supporting the channel. I tell you, when it comes down to uh, the kind of time travel element that's showing itself just peeking through the narrative sometimes, um, I'm still holding out a lot of judgment, withholding a lot of judgment in the Book of the New Sun series because a lot is up in the air. But as much as I've read and as much as the series has gone through, for so much to be up in the air, it really doesn't feel like as big of a series as it is. And like I said, I can see why it's not widely loved. I mean, Hyperion, Dan Simmons' Hyperion just beats it into the ground to me when it comes down to it. The story moves along, and this story, uh, even though there will be parts of action and plot, they're breakneck pace, and the scene and the setting changes so quickly and abrupt that you feel like you're in a bumper car the whole time you're reading the Book of the New Sun. And I'm not saying I don't recommend it. I'm doing well. Thank you very much, brother. It's been awesome. It's been an awesome reading week, as you can see so far, right? Anyone reading comics, graphic novels lately? Nice. I've been binging Chris Ware and Harvey Pekar for the past 2 weeks. Very cool. I've been reading some graphic novels. I'm going to touch some. You might have seen if you saw my little trailer teaser for the live tonight. That I picked up a bunch of Alan Moore. So you can't go wrong there, right? So the other thing that I've read, I mean, I finished Near to the Wild Heart. I finished Sword of the Lictor. So this next week coming up, I'll get to in a second. But there is something else that I've been taking little bites of. And what I mean by that is I've been listening to an audio presentation of it that is a different translation than the one I'm going to be reading. I've been getting into the Avatamsaka Sutra. This is an amazing work. Very It's like a sutra on infinity, and the flower ornament scripture is the way that it is translated in this edition. This is Thomas Cleary's translation, and I highly recommend it. I'm not reading the whole sutra. What I'm reading is chapter 39, which is called the realm entry into the realm of reality. It's an amazing work. I've read it before, and I'm reading it again with an amazing reader, Jack, over at Rambling Raconteur. Thank you very much, brother. I can't wait to read this with you. It is something that the value of reading something like this, I cannot overstate. I could never tell you um, the merit involved in coming into contact with something like this, because it just awakens, at least in me, right? It awakens uh, a desire to do a virtuous activity in the world. Reading stuff like this that is so beautiful in its worldview, in its view of what reality consists of, really makes me, enables me to act in a way that is more giving and from my true heart, from my true what I want to give. So that is the that is the value of reading spiritual texts to me. Thank you so much, brother, for suggesting to read this. And thank you, Emily, my beautiful wife, for hooking me up with this awesome edition. So, Jack over at Rambling Raconteur has the only edition that I've ever seen of this is a 3-volume hardcover set. And if this single volume, I thought, would only be for reference libraries, right? University libraries, things like that. But Emily found this, and it is not X Library. It was from a private collection. It has been read. It has been held open, it seems, early in the book, something like page 500. Early in the book, right? Look, this is 500 pages. These pages are super thin, something like a Bible. So 500 pages in, something like that, it seems like it's been set open at this point for a really, really long time. So I'm in the process of straightening out this spine and getting it just like this, just about normal. And I will be going through the Thomas Cleary translation for chapter 39. But I've been listening to another translation of this and gone through maybe the first, 3 parts of the Avatamsaka, which is basically setting and of the first couple of the teachers that our main character comes in contact with. And it's just beautiful, beautiful reading. Yeah, baby. That's right. Love you too. Quentin. Yeah, Jack, how goes Genji? We ain't reading Genji yet. I'm gonna read Tale of Genji with Jack as well. I don't think we're down to start that yet. Jack has enough on his hand with um Avatamsaka, but let me tell you, if anybody can read Avatamsaka Sutra and Tale of Genji together, it's Jack. Hell yeah, you got a good deal. She got that edition there for 85. That's an amazing deal. If I ever saw it for that deal, I would have got it. But never came across it like that. All right. So my mom thought it would be super funny to gift me a an Amazon gift card because she got on a live one Friday, and I'm sitting here talking smack about Amazon, right? Because I mean, I never go to Amazon for anything. Uh, I would rather, eBay, or rather search uh independent bookshops and things like that. And so she uh, pushed me to give me an Amazon gift card, so I used it, and I used it to get only Alan Moore. So I'm gonna show you something first that I got that's really, I've never heard of it before. I got it just because I saw it and it was, fit in the pricing, and I have started it already. This is Cinema Purgatorio. This is Cinerama, and I don't know what this is yet. I've only read maybe the first 20%, but this came out as 18 comics, 18 short comics when it first came out, and they are very, very well done, very high quality, even though they are black and white. The lines are amazing, and you can see how much we have going on in each panel, right? The lines are very, very fine. And this is Kevin O'Neill is the artist. What is the most fun about this is each story is kind of like going to a movie, and they have this kind of philosophical or sci-fi or psychological bent to the story. For example, we have we have a story where it's kind of a superhero story, but it turns out to be the Flame of Remorse is the name of the superhero, and he's not a superhero. He's actually remorse itself, chasing after the bad guy because of the evil that he's done in his life, and how he'll never escape the flame of remorse. It's just wild. It's wild. So I'm having some fun with it. I'm gonna go through it. As far as I can see, this is what Alan Moore does, right? He uses a medium. Graphic novels is his jam. And he uses a medium to explore ideas that are almost like Borges in their infinity. And he just is willing to take a reader along with him, and then just kind of nudge them out, and just kind of, you know, give them out to the infinity. And then they just are free, are free to explore that in their own kind of way. And these stories are all very short, open ended, like that at the end, very Borges like in their delivery and things like that. Yeah, Genji takes flight in August. That's what I'm talking about. Very cool. Nice, Jack. Jack is one of the strongest readers that I know, that's for sure. So Cinema Purgatorio seems very, very cool. The most anticipated, the one that I picked up with my gift card here, Alan Moore, that I'm the most excited about is this one here. Brighter Than You Think, 10 Short Works by Alan Moore. And this is put together by Mark Sobel, who wrote essays to accompany each of the works. And these works are short stories and graphic novels, like maybe a one-off graphic novel like this. This is the first one called Love Doesn't Last Forever. And this was put out in 1986. So we have a one-off graphic novel followed by an essay. And so we have 1986, 87, 88, 89, and then it jumps. And then we have 1998 and 2002 with a story. This is Information. Another one-shot graphic novel, a comic, right? So the works that are collected in here is In Pictopia, Love Doesn't Last Forever, Tapestries, The Mirror of Love, Come On Down, The Bowing Machine, I Keep Coming Back, The Hasty Smear of My Smile, This is Information, and then the titular story, Brighter Than You Think. Very cool. Looks awesome. Has some kind of literary criticism to accompany it with Mark Sobel's essays. So I'm all about it. A lot of artists collected in here as well that were commissioned to do artwork for his stuff. And I mean, the artwork for an Alan Moore comic is always on point. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Always in Alan Moore's stuff, when I'm just even thumbing through it, I'm like, I have to get this. I mean, it's just, he's always pushing boundaries. It's amazing. Brighter Than You Think. So I picked up in a used bookstore. This is something that I got into just that I picked up just at a Second and Charles. I had gone because Zelda and I, right? Zelda and I are reading through the summer here, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. She has and I have both watched all the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies for a while because they're hilarious, and she got into them. Whatever. So we are reading the books now because we had the first one, so we just read through it, and so we went and picked up the second one. And at the Second and Charles, I had grabbed the fifth book of Alan Moore's Promethea. If you've seen on the channel, I have volume 1 and 2 in this Vertigo trade collections. I don't know how many there are altogether, maybe 6. I'm not going to read it until I get them all, but I'm just picking them up used as I see them, right? But this one here, I'm telling you, look at the cover, and then I'm thumbing through it, and it's just like the artwork in this graphic novel is off the charts. It's unbelievable. Okay? Ready? I mean, look at what is going on here. Too cool. It's like just an amazing, all the panels have this guy. You see, there's these, the panels are shaped. It's very cool stylistically. Promethea is just a beautiful work. Zelda is getting so much better at reading. She loves it. The covers. God, I love this artwork. That's what I'm talking about. Even just, okay. The individual, just regular panels. Not a big deal, right? But they're just gorgeous. I can't wait to read it, but I won't start it. I'm not gonna read it until I can actually read the whole thing. I want to get the whole story, right? So I will wait. But all right. Hey, Fit to be read. Happy Friday. Nice to see you, brother. So yeah, I mean, I'm loving seeing this the Promethea bindings and actually finding them, but I'm not getting into the story yet. It's killing me to see how beautiful this stuff is, though. I can't wait to read this. I mean, like, what is happening? Happy 4th. I hope you're getting off. Uh, I hope you're getting off fit to be read, getting some extra time for the 4th of July and all that. Very cool, Frostbite. Glad you're still here. I mean, what has happened? It's just page after page of this completely psychedelic. I mean, it goes on. It keeps going on. I mean, I'm just flipping. I can't wait. You know, it's just unbelievable. What is happening? Okay. I'm telling you, I love I love it. Alan Moore is one of my favorites, if not my favorite living writer at this point. And so I picked up a graphic novel that is a landmark. Movie's been made of it and all that kind of stuff that I've never read before. Astral Landscapes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. See, everybody loving the Promethea. That's what I'm talking about. All right. But then I got The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Omnibus. So this is volume 1 and volume 2 of The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So it's Alan Moore as the writer, of course, but also again Kevin O'Neill. That is the illustrator for the Cinema Purgatorio. The first thing that I had shown that is actually what I've started reading already. So Kevin O'Neill is an amazing illustrator, and just the way that these lines are in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the lines are so fine and enabling such an amount of detail. Check this out. You know, crazy. Just an awesome amount of detail in the lines. The colors are really strong. When it comes down to it, there's a lot of use of light and dark in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen as well. You have these kind of panels, right? So I've never been, never been kind of drawn to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but Volume 2 is a complete sci-fi romp, so I can't wait. When it comes down to it, Alan Moore is really, really strong at whatever he wants to do. Just strong at storytelling. Did Sean Connery die? For real? I didn't know if Sean Connery died. I don't think that I've that I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen the movie, you know. But I've never been drawn to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen either. I don't really know much about it. At this point though, I will read anything that Alan Moore does. I really will. And so I've just gone, I use my gift card to expand my Alan Moore collection. I wish he'd write another novel because his novels are both really great and Jerusalem is unbelievable. So I would love for him to explore that medium more. But when it comes down to it, Alan Moore is the kind of artist that I would never pretend to know what he should do or what kind of medium he should explore. I hope that Alan Moore has a lot more for us to get from his creativity in whatever medium he wants to put that out there. It's just wild. The From Hell movie, I don't think was meant to be a real adaptation. It was like inspired by From Hell by Alan Moore, right? It was inspired by, but it wasn't an adaptation of it, right? uh yeah, I did see that. I did see that, Nick. Thank you very much. Illuminations is a collection of stories by Alan Moore that's due out this year. I can't wait. And I definitely will be all over it. Let me tell you. The short stories that I've read by Alan Moore so far have been really strong and really cool. Just like, just that's what he does. It's very, very strong storytelling and very cool. His ideas are just, cool. Hypothetical Lizard was a wild story. So I'll be all over the short story collection. Speaking of short story collections, so I'm going to jump into uh, finishing up July here. Going to keep with Avatamsaka Sutra. And then I'm going to jump into with PG. I ain't finna read that. Hey, bro. I'm jumping into with him and Andrew at Starscream Live. Not a booktube channel, but a lo-fi hip hop channel, who is an awesome reader. We're going to read The Girl with Curious Hair by David Foster Wallace. If you've been following my channel, then you know that PG ain't finna read that, and Andrew and I have read Oblivion together and created some content based on it. That is David Foster Wallace's last short story collection that he published in his lifetime. This one, The Girl with Curious Hair, is his first. We're going to rock, okay? We're going to go back and reach backwards into David Foster Wallace's first writing forays after he published his first work, The Broom of the System. This is his first collection in story writing. I can't wait. Have you started it yet, PG? Let me know. But this one is happening, and also in July here, I'm gonna read another Jane Austen. There's a booktube event that goes on in July called Jane Austen July. It's when people just kind of celebrate Jane Austen's works. I've read only one Jane Austen novel, that is Pride and Prejudice, and I read it for this event maybe 2 years ago. I loved it. I really did. Jane Austen is an amazing writer of dialogue. It's so fun, it's funny, and it's intricate. It's really well done. So I want to read Persuasion. I got it. And there's a new movie out on Netflix. I'm going to get Emily to watch it with me if she will. And so I will get another Jane Austen under my belt, do Persuasion in July, right? That'll be cool coming up, hopefully. Very cool. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, right. Hasn't started it yet. Waist deep in psychic development books, but primed to go. Hey, buddy, you and me both. Very cool, y'all. So here's what's coming up. Here's what's been going on, and here's what's been coming up on the channel. It has been fun. A wild reading week. My brain has been just really out in the solar system somewhere between Book of the New Sun and Clarice Lispector and the Avatamsaka Sutra. So I hope you enjoyed the journey this week. Thank you very much. Yeah, baby. We're there together. Let's do it. Another Jane Austen. And Emily actually did Pride and Prejudice with me a couple years ago when I did that as well. So that'll be cool. That'll be a little revisit. We can revisit an author and see what we think of another one of her stories. I'm going to let you go with that, BookTube. Thank you very much. Happy Friday. Yeah, fireworks outside your window. There you go, brother. It's going to be some fireworks all weekend long. That's right. So I hope everybody enjoys the long weekend. For sure. Don't forget to hit me, Quentin. Let's do this. I want to do some content on Browdigan. And we'll have some fun. See you later, BookTube. Y'all have a great weekend. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.